Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today.
Thank you for being here today and celebrating with us. Acorns fall from trees. They scatter across the ground. But what potential lies in that seed? Some that are able root themselves in the ground and they grow. And as they grow, they provide shelter for animals, nest for birds. But that tree doesn't just go up. Its roots go down. I had the distinct opportunity some months ago, because the time seems but so short. Neil Phillips was being honored in this same place, and I had the opportunity to see him, to see the people that came along with him, those who came to support him, and those who came to honor him. I watched him. I heard his story. And something captured me. It was not until later I was catching a plane and I was going to a function for the Visible Men's Academy of Visible Men. And I caught a plane and Nate Jacobs was being honored. So I wanted to come in, but my plane was late. My son Etienne called me and said, well, Daddy, you can still make it. I didn't want to come in late to such a grand affair. Well, I had to come in late, and it just so happens the seat they had was right down front. And I came in, came down, and I came and had the seat. From that moment, I was captured. Just like that oak tree speaks for itself, its roots embedded in the ground to hold the soils from erosion. And just as its leaves reach up, its praying hands stretch toward the heavens, I saw his work. I looked at the people who were in attendance, and I saw his work. I had seen what an acorn can do when it's rooted in the ground, when it sprouts and when it grows. I saw the works of his hand. I saw the people that he honored. And I saw how the people embraced him. As I was leaving out of the door, one photographer said to me, "Isn't this marvelous? Have you seen so many people come together at such an occasion? He has brought us all together. Isn't this wonderful if we could do this all the time?" Neil Phillips. So, when they said today, will you introduce him? I had to draw upon my own experiences, how he had captured my existence, how I had seen what he showed me in that first meeting, in that meeting when I had to come in and enter late, and what that explosion was like. Just as that oak grows from the ground, it speaks for itself. A graduate of Harvard University, and after playing professional basketball in Australia, our community was very fortunate to have a man come plant his roots in our soils. When you offer free tuition to boys, when you believe in people like you believed in yourself, you see the result of the great oak. Neil Phillips, for his speak.
Need to tell me when you're going to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just a great gift. Good afternoon. Before I dive in, I need to state very clearly that Visible Men Academy is not a me thing. It's very much a we thing. I have some folks who are part of that we who have joined today, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Lewis Parker, one of our co-founders, Cliff McDonald, our art teacher, Diego Velasco, our fourth grade teacher, Melissa Morsley, who does so much with us we can't put it into a category. There are others out here, faces I'm seeing, who do so much for and with us, and we're always grateful. And I need to do this. I was surprised today when I walked in and saw one of our first graders and one of our third graders in attendance. So Zamari and Zion, if the two of you could stand up where people can see you, because we will also be launching your fashion consultancy. Thrilled that you're here. Let me guess. You're an accountant. A man said this to me a few years ago as I walked by him with my wife and sons. It was a joke. There I was, black, tall, with a closely shaved head, and what I generously refer to as remnants of an athletic build. I had to be a professional athlete. I just had to be. If not, at least it was obvious that I couldn't be an accountant. So obvious that his sarcastic claim was bound to get some laughs. It did. His two friends enjoyed it. My wife and I smiled and said hello. It wasn't laugh out loud funny. Honestly, it really wasn't even funny. But it was a harmless try, and it felt like an innocent greeting, so we smiled and said hello. As I thought seconds later about this quick exchange, my I should have said voice spoke to me. We all have an I should have said voice. No, I'm not an accountant. I'm a Harvard-educated principal at a private prep school, a teacher, coach, writer, speaker, entrepreneur, consultant, and fan of Led Zeppelin, Pat Metheny, and Pink Floyd. I'm a father, husband, son, brother, and uncle. Actually, I'm so many other things that you never thought a tall, shave-headed, kind of athletically built black man could be. Now, my father, he's the accountant. Okay, so that would have been an arrogant and unpleasant overreaction. But while he and his friends were telling me to relax and get over myself, maybe that response would have forever changed their mindset. Maybe he and his buddies would have gotten the point that it's just as impossible to judge me by my cover as it is to brand anyone else. But there's more to this than just a joke in my reaction to it. The troubling point is that this man had a picture in his head of who I was. It was there because that image hadn't been challenged and ultimately replaced by a broader view of who I might be. He had a perspective that told him there were only a few things a black man could be. Unfortunately, he isn't alone. He is one of many among us who have mentally pigeonholed black men. Why is this? Well, to start, we are inundated with images of black men at the extremes. Our media and entertainment outlets overwhelm us with the endless strife of those who fail and the athletic and musical stardom of those who succeed. We glimpse very little of the fuller picture, which actually is how the vast majority of us live. Add this to the well-chronicled plight of black men in America, high rates of school underachievement, unemployment, incarceration, and recidivism, to name just a few, and you have a formula that causes us to overlook anything that contradicts our lazy assumptions. But today, we celebrate men who represent that fuller picture. These are men who serve, men who inspire, men who model and who elevate others through the way they live their lives. These are men who give. Now, I have to pause just a moment here because I realize that I have spent some time intentionally and specifically speaking about black men. And I note that one of our honorees appears to be a white man. But don't worry. This is very easily addressed. So, Bill, I'm a very big believer that we become who we serve. So by this indisputable thinking, you're actually white, black, Latino, Asian, and other. Congratulations. I think I've also just saved you some money on like the 23andMe DNA testing and all that stuff. You got it all covered. In 2016, I was honored and humbled to be recognized as a flame of distinction. Thank you. Thank you. As I considered this opportunity to share my thoughts with you today, I reread the inscription on my very distinct flame trophy. And I was reacquainted with the phrase, igniting vision acquisition. Igniting vision acquisition. All caps, no less. Wow. What a statement. When I first read this in my hands, though I was just charged with helping people see, my own eyesight wasn't good enough to read their inscriptions. So I've just been operating under the assumption that igniting vision acquisition was mine and mine alone. But that was the old me. 721 days ago, I was just a lost 50-year-old. Surely you'll grant me some leeway for my childish behavior. Today, I am proud to say that I've grown up and I've learned to share. And I'm very eager and even more grateful to share the challenge of igniting vision acquisition with the flames of distinction among us today, because this is exactly what they do. They help people see the inherent value of each life with whom they and their organizations work. They help people see the many different ways they can help to uplift our young people. And they help people see all of the ways that Black men show up in our communities. I offer a heartfelt congratulations and a very grateful thank you to today's honorees for their commitment to our children, to our communities, and for their dedication and their commitment to igniting vision acquisition. Thank you.